Hey mama, I'm so glad you're here. Doing something just a little different today, and I'm just giving you a life update. Just having a little chat. I think sometimes we need to hear from other moms and just know that we're not alone in some of the struggles and joys that we have. And so that's what I'm talking about today, is just personal things, some of what's going on in my home. I mean, I talk so much about a Christian home, and then sometimes I don't talk about my own home, and that is an important part of what I do is writing and podcasting about building a Christian space. And so maybe we need to talk about my own space. And so that's what I am getting into today, just an easy chat. So if you are sitting down for this one, mama, get that cup of tea and let's chat. If you are on the go, get the volume turned up and let's get into this. Hey mama, I know you're busy. You're living in piles of laundry, you don't know what you're making for your next meal, and there's a really annoying kid song stuck in your head. And through all of this, you're wondering how you're going to build a joyful Christian home. How do I know all of this? Because that was me. Hi, I'm Alyssa, teacher turned stay-at-home boy mom, blogger, podcaster, and Jesus lover. And I know that while this motherhood journey is beautiful, it's also messy. And the best way to enjoy it is to invite God into our chaos and let Him be the rest that we so desperately need. So together, let's strengthen your relationship with God. Let's build a Christian home that is built on biblical truths and enjoy this motherhood journey. You got this, mama. I was at the grocery store this morning and I broke a jam jar. I have become that person in the grocery store who reads labels. And I mean, I've always been aware of what's in my food and monitored what I'm consuming, but lately I have been reading labels more and more. And so I had two jam jars. I had one in each hand, and then I don't really know what happened. Another jar fell off the shelf and I didn't have enough hands to grab it, and it crashed on the floor. I felt so bad. Fortunately, there was a store clerk right there, and he was like, "Oh, it's okay, I'll get it." I was like, "I'm so sorry." But what I discovered, and I really wanted to tell him this, but I didn't think he wanted to hear it from the semi-crazy lady who just spilled jam everywhere, was that the name brand jam has color additives in it. Like, please tell me why strawberry jam needs to have red dye and blue dye in it. Like, why do we need to make strawberries any more red? And I am trying to be more aware of those types of things. I don't really want my kids having dye in their diet, especially when strawberries are already red. Like, it doesn't need to be any more red. Not to mention the sugar content in it as well. And so then I looked at the sugar-free one, and it is sugar-free, but it has glucose fructose in it. And I'm like, I can't have fructose, but I also can't have jam because it has pectin, and I can't have pectin either. So I'm not eating it, but regardless, I don't really want my kids having glucose fructose either. So back to the store brand jam I went, and that is what I ended up purchasing. So just a little fun fact for you. But it reminded me of how important it is that we are aware of what is going into our homes. Not just in what we're consuming in terms of food, but also what we're consuming with our eyes and our ears, and just how we are ourselves are bringing ourselves into our homes, and how as moms we have a really big role in that our behavior and the way that we act and the way that we talk and we interact with our children really impacts them and how they do things and how they interact with others, and the things that we allow, the behaviors, and just all of those things, and how mom is really the heart of all of that. And I mean, it's no wonder moms are so tired, because like, I'm standing in the grocery store reading jam labels and then trying to decide what is the best thing for my children, what is the healthiest option for them. And so that's where I've been in the last little while, is what I've been doing, is really monitoring our food choices, is trying to make healthier food choices now that my children are older and I have a little more time to actually think about what we're eating and not just be like, okay, we're having grilled cheese again. Just be more aware of that. My husband is trying to be more aware of what he is eating. If you've heard, like I recently found out that I have a fructose intolerance, which is a whole gambit of foods and trying to eliminate things that are trigger foods. And so it's been really eye-opening as I've been reading labels and like really reading labels. I've always been aware of the calories and the carb content of things because I monitor my sugars, my blood sugars, but being aware of the actual ingredients, that's just a whole other story. But those are the things that I've been doing, and monitoring seed oils and things like that, just trying to decide what it is that I am bringing into my home. And that is so much of building a Christian home, is making those decisions and being in communication with God, and asking Him for guidance, and just to see what His plan is for my home and what my part of that plan is, because I want God to direct me. And so that's something that I have been working on. I mean, it's not just food. God's not going to direct me on the food. I mean, I don't go to the grocery store and ask the Holy Spirit to tell me what to buy, because I've never found that would be effective. But in my own home, in my own space, asking that God is helping me make those healthy choices. Because you have to do that for your kids when they're little. You are controlling everything that they do. You are helping them learn how to be independent, but ultimately you are the one with the final say. You're deciding what they're going to eat, what they're going to wear, where we're going to go, what time they're going to go to sleep, what time, you are making all of those choices. And the decision fatigue is real. It is so exhausting. And I often think that we as a society have we've just done it to ourselves, where we just draw these expectations of people that this is how we should live, and we know more. I mean, knowledge is power. It's good that we know more, but in many ways it also has created this sort of culture of, we need to make sure that we're doing everything right, and we need to research everything, and we need to have experts, and we need to check this and check that, and the world has made things easier in some ways. We've got lots of access to food that's a lot easier to eat. But now that we know more, we also know that we need to be reading those labels, because not all of that food is good for us. And so a lot of it relies on moms who are, the ones who are doing the grocery shopping, moms who are making those choices for their children about what they're watching, what they're listening to, the toys that you have in your home. All of those things are heavily reliant on mom. And it's no wonder we're so tired, because, I mean, can my husband help me with some of those things? Sure. But he's got other things that he's managing and dealing with, and his job, and managing, some of the finances. And we have our roles in our homes, and that's just what moms often end up doing. And we do it because, we're typically the ones feeding our children, and we're the ones that spend a lot of time with them, so we're aware of those things. And that's why moms are so tired. And so I have been seeking these to find rest, and to seek God's guidance on things and in my own space. And so one of the things has been the words and the ways that I speak with my children, and just my whole attitude, and how that really impacts everybody in my home. And it's hard as a woman, because we go through cycles where we have days of the month where we do not feel good. And it can be really hard to push that aside and say, nope, I'm not going to let this dictate how I am interacting with my family. Yes, I may be in pain. Yes, I may not be feeling good, but I'm not going to be snippy and sarcastic with them just because I don't feel good. That's not okay for me to put that on them. And so learning how to do that, and learning how to manage that, or when I know that maybe I am going to be struggling, saying, hey, you know what, we're going to take it easy today. Maybe we're just going to sit on the couch and read books, or just letting them know, hey, you know what, mama's not feeling good. Let's everyone be just a little bit less crazy, or go see your dad maybe. But learning that, managing that, and just because that helps to create a home that is more peaceful. My children are more at ease when they know that maybe I'm not feeling good, and that I am making an effort to feel better, if that's just sitting on the couch, or if I'm saying to them, hey, you know what, I really can't do that right now, let's do something else. But showing them that I am making that effort to to spend time with them and to be patient with them and to love them, because then they in turn, I mean not always, but I do see a change that they typically are a little bit more patient and kind with each other and with us. And so just learning that, understanding that, and it takes time. It takes time because you have to learn that from yourself as well. You have to know your own triggers and your own the things that bother you and everything that's kind of going on with yourself. And that was something else that I had to learn this year. Was I was struggling with sort of my identity of who I am. So if you listen to that podcast episode or read that blog post, Identity and Motherhood, that was sort of where I was. It was really weird because I was like, I'm in my 30s, I shouldn't be experiencing this. Like, I think I know who I am, but why do I feel like I don't know who I am? And so I had some really heart-to-hearts with God, and it was just so amazing, the light bulb moment when he was like, you're a child of God. Like, it's okay. You don't need to be worrying about anything else. You don't need to be worrying about who you are or what you're going to be doing. Like, let's just focus on who you are right now. And that was so refreshing and so wonderful. And one of the other things that I was working on was I had started trying to do more on social media, and I wanted to network and grow and meet other moms and connect. And it was something that I really felt like I need to be doing. And it ended up sort of backfiring on me because I ended up being really, really focused on content creation for social media and just the numbers and the likes and the views, and it was getting unhealthy. And normally I'm somebody who's got really good self-control, but apparently I do not have good self-control over this. And I was just not obsessing over, but just like, what's the next reel that I'm going to make? What's the next post I'm going to make? Like, it was just it was consuming too much of my time, and I wasn't seeing results from it. And so I was getting frustrated, and I was like, okay, God, you're going to have to take this from me. Like, you're going to have to pry it from my hands because I cannot let go of this. And God did. He was like, yep, sounds good. I'm actually just going to replace it with something so that you don't have time to worry about social media. And so I actually ended up getting another part-time job, and just a couple extra hours a week. But it's essentially removed social media. I just do not have time for it. So I'm still on social media. You can still find me on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm on TikTok as well. I'm just not quite as active as I was. I'm still there. You can message me and chat with me and stuff like that, but I'm just not as active as I was, and I feel so much better. I feel so much better the less time I have spent on social media. And I know a lot of content creators have said that. A lot of people, I've heard that from business people, they say the less time they spend on social media, the better they feel. And it's a tool. It's a fantastic tool, but we have to be so careful in how we're using it. And again, just as moms, I am reminded that we need to be aware of that how it affects us as adults and how it's going to affect our children. My kids are not at the social media stage yet. I mean, my son's only 5, and so he's not there yet, but I am aware of the things that can affect him and screens in general and the impact that can have on our children, what I'm allowing them to consume and what they see me doing. If they see me sitting on my phone on social media, or do they see me reading like a real actual live book or the Bible? They see those things, and I want them to learn those good habits from me as well. And so those are some of the things that I have sort of been working on, and I'm busy. I'm always busy, but it's good. I like staying busy. I like having things to focus on and to do, and really enjoying my kids at this age and stage. There's difficulties, of course. My 5-year-old has his difficulties. They get tired and grumpy, and so trying to navigate that with them. And my 2-year-old, I mean, he's 2, so he's a sweetie, but there's days when I'm like, oh my goodness, like, what are you doing? But yeah, things have been good. Things are really good, and we're looking towards summer. The weather here is not really cooperating. It's warm, but not quite the warmness that we need to enjoy being outside. Like, it's still chilly, and my kids are complaining about that. And I'm like, yeah, I hear you, child. Like, I don't want to wear splash pants either, and a jacket and maybe hat and mitts, but that's where we're at right now. And so those things are frustrating when you have to argue with your children about every article of clothing, and it's like, it's not my fault. Like, don't argue with me. Like, go talk to God about it. I'm sorry. But that's kind of where we're at. But we're hoping for some some better weather soon so we can get outside, because I'm a sunshine girl. Like, just give me the sunshine, let me sit out in the sun and go for walks and stuff. It just makes everybody so much happier. Like, everyone's happier when we've been outside. And so hopefully that's coming soon. And Easter's coming as well. I've been reading Anne Voskamp's Love to Life book, and again, if you have not grabbed that, go and get it and start. You can read it at any time, but at this time of the year especially, it's so impactful when you think about Jesus and the steps that he took leading up to the cross, and what he did for us, and what he gave us. It's just so amazing. So I hope you have a really blessed week, and that's just a little update about me, and things that are going on in my world, in my life, and my little Christian home that I am building. So have a great week, Mama, and talk again next week. Thanks for joining me today. Can I ask you to do something for me? Subscribe, share what you've heard, and leave me a review. 3 little things that would make my day top notch. I pray your coffee stays hot, your kids stay calm, and you keep Jesus in your heart. Until next time, Mama, God bless.